Hello everyone, it's Brian. Welcome to episode 15 of the Cost of Crypto podcast. Today I'm going to answer the question, what is an NFT? I'm going to take a look at it from several angles. Hope you enjoy the show. But before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor. Hello everyone, I want to tell you about my favorite podcast tool. It's Anchor FM. It's got everything you need to make a podcast. Recording function, sound clips, background music, transitions. You can upload your own audio files, and you can use Anchor's built-in editing tools to make a great podcast. Anchor will distribute your podcast among multiple platforms so that the more you grow, the greater your reach becomes. You can also monetize your episodes right off the bat, no minimum audience. You can get started making your podcast right from your phone or PC. So don't wait. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And we're back. So what is an NFT? An NFT stands for non-fungible token. And I'll get into fungibility later. For now, let's just think of it as something that is unique. What makes it unique is that it's not just an image. It's not just an animated GIF. It's something that has a digital signature. Right now, think about all the electronic transactions that we already do. We have Venmo transactions, PayPal transactions. We purchase things using our bank account, credit card transactions. All these transactions have digital signatures, a transaction ID. Well, what makes it any different from an NFT? What makes it unique? What makes an NFT unique is that the digital signatures that are on all those transactions I just mentioned, those can be reversed. If something was accidentally spent, if there was an error in any of the software or servers, those companies can go back and reverse the transactions. With an NFT, all the transactions are performed on a blockchain ledger. And one of the characteristics of a blockchain ledger is that once a transaction is recorded of something going from a digital wallet to another digital wallet, once it's recorded on the blockchain ledger, it becomes a permanent and immutable record, meaning there's no refunds, there's no takebacks. If you make a mistake and accidentally hit the send all button, you're stuck doing it. You can't recall it. What makes each transaction unique is that just like those previously mentioned transactions, an NFT also has a unique blockchain signature. And that blockchain signature is attached to the image that you purchase. So you have a record of a digital transaction saying, I purchased this image. I have a digital proof that shows the transaction went from the originator of the image with their digital signature of their wallet, and it shows on that immutable record, it went from their wallet to my wallet. And in that sense, that is how you have ownership. Now you might say to yourself, but you're not owning anything tangible. It's a digital image, an electronic transaction. But what counts for this is that it's the representation and the acceptance of a representation. When we have a job and we have direct deposit, nothing physical goes into the bank. Nothing physical comes from our company. It's all digital, but yet we accept the representation of the value because the digital ledger that records that transaction is backed up so that it is accepted that what is said it is in that ledger is valid. Same thing with a blockchain transaction. Because it is recorded and because the rules of that blockchain are that if a transaction says it went from wallet A to wallet B, it is valid. It is then accepted. If we want to take a step backwards and you're still skeptical about the fact that you don't own anything and we're accepting just electrons going from A to B. Think about a check. When you write a check or you get a check from a company, back in the days before direct deposit, you would receive a physical check, either mailed or picked up at your company. That physical check, it's just paper and ink. It has no tangible value other than kindling to start a fire. But we accepted the representation that it has a value, the representation that says the party listed on here issues this much value from our account to the account of the other name listed on this check. If you think about paper money, it's the exact same thing. The paper itself has no tangible value. It is a representation. We had to go take a step as a species to accept an intangible concept, an intangible thing as a representation, because prior to paper money, we had physical money. We had actual gold. We had actual silver. Those were coins. It was tangible. It was real. It was solid. It had utility. It had value. And if we want to take things back a step further, what gives silver and gold value? An acceptance of value. There is a consensus saying there is value on this. Therefore, this coin with this metal has value. Fast forward, going from paper money, which was already in itself a step towards a new way of looking at a representation and a technology. Credit cards, digital transactions, nothing physical passed hands, even if it's unbacked money, where it's not backed by a currency. Paper money has now gone digital, where nothing is technically passing other than electrons. Well, we've been doing that for 40 odd years now. And now we've moved on to a new layer of technology, blockchain technology, which has verifiable transactions that are immutable and permanent record. So someone could copy that digital image that I purchased in an NFT or that animated GIF, just do a video scrape or an image scrape, attach a digital ID to it on the same blockchain, and try and sell it. But if someone were to look up that ID and check on the blockchain record, they'll see that it originated with a counterfeiter and not with the official party that was authorized to sell that image, to sell that digital image and its digital ID. So when we look at an NFT, the value comes from the uniqueness of having an image that can only be replicated and whose value is backed up, and the verifiability by the scarcity of the digital ID attached to it. So I said I'd answer the question, what is fungibility? That it applies in this case. Fungibility has to do with interchangeability. So the first example would be for a fungible token, let's say. We're talking about US banknotes. You can exchange a $10 US banknote for a $1 or $5 US banknote. There is a commonality among them. Something that is non-fungible would be like a diamond, because a diamond has different kinds of cuts, different colors, different grades, and different sizes. So just because you have a diamond and want to exchange it for another diamond does not mean that those diamonds will necessarily be the same. There's something unique and different about those diamonds, which is the same as an NFT. An NFT has unique characteristics to it. The main element being you have that digital signature that distinguishes that image as being unique. And that about wraps things up. You can follow the Cost of Crypto podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and Radio Public. You can also follow along at TINYCRYPTOBLOG.com and the social media sites listed in the show notes. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for show topics, you can drop me a line at hello@tinycryptoblog.com. Be well, everyone. Talk to you soon.